For ages, the old have taken over leadership roles in our country. But time has come where youth are coming out in large numbers to take over these leadership roles and prove a point that they too can lead. Wanjiru Theuri, a former student leader of Mount Kenya University, is here today with us on the TTL show to share his insight on leadership and the role he's going to take to foster the youth agenda in the next generation. Welcome on our show as we share more about him and as we learn his journey in leadership. Make sure you subscribe on our YouTube channel, Sauti Kweli Media. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Karibu kwa show.
Asante sana.
Yes, this is the TTL show, Tomorrow Leader Show.
I am humbled.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
First of all, before we move further, I want to know, with my viewers who are watching us, who is Theuri Kevin?
Well, thank you very much, Steve. And maybe before I introduce myself,
Yes.
I was brought up well. I was brought up that whenever you visit somewhere, you have to bring and give what you have. And today, Steve, I brought you some products, the ones that we try and contribute to the economy using. So these are ground nuts. We process them at our company called Jangoma Company. So you can enjoy with your friends and maybe assist the economy.
Definitely I will. I love this cap.
Yes.
As you can see, the label.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And these groundnuts, I'm sure I will love to enjoy them as maybe the show goes on.
Definitely.
So now, let's get back to you.
Well, Steve, I can tell you about myself. My name is Theuri Wanjiru. I am a Kenyan, an entrepreneur. I run a company called Realvin Ventures, where we focus mainly on production, logistics, and general food production and supplies. We majorly do the supplies to prisons, hospitals, high schools, primary schools. So we assist the economy in that direction. I'm also a leader. I am the liaison person for the Thika constituency, also doubling up as youth liaison person for Jango Foundation under the patronage of Thika Member of Parliament, Wainaina Wajango. I'm also a former student leader at Mount Kenya University, served in the year 2017-2018 in the capacity of president. So that is me. Yes. Yes.
That is good. Simple, direct to the point.
Yes.
Maybe we now go back, slightly back to your academic journey, your journey at Mount Kenya University, and how you became the president of Mount Kenya University, so that we may understand where your leadership came from. Maybe primary, high school, to university, and now let's go back to your academic journey. Well,
Steve, I hail from a very unknown place in Nyeri County called Tetu constituency. Tetu constituency is in Nyeri County. I went to school in a school called, a very remote school called Kiambweri Primary School. And my high school journey took me to a high school called Tambaya Boys High School. That is where I completed my secondary school. Then later came to Mount Kenya University, where I took a bachelor's degree in clinical and community nutrition. I left in 2019. And you know, academic, you will never leave academic. You will still continuing pursuing knowledge and wisdom in the academic life. So I'm still trying to pursue the knowledge and information and try to acquire knowledge. So I'm still in that line, trying to acquire knowledge at Mount Kenya University. Hopefully by the end of 2021, I'll graduate. Yes.
You'll graduate
with another degree.
With another degree?
Yes.
Which you don't want to disclose?
I will not disclose because of my political reasons. Yes, but basically that is my academic life.
Academic life.
Yes.
Your leadership journey? Well,
my leadership journey was, Steve, I always tell people about this journey and they are very amused. There is no way in my life that a thought of me being a leader ever came to my life from when I was a small boy to when I go back to campus, when I entered campus. It hadn't gotten into my mind ever. So I always tell people this story and they are very astonished I joined Mount Kenya University in the year 2013, and in the year 2014, I got interest of student leadership. I got attached to one of my friends who then was vying for docket of Minister for Academics, and I was very sort of attracted to that kind of excitement around leadership and that feeling of people giving directions and maybe guiding people. That really got me attached to leadership, and that is where my thought of me being a leader or leadership came across. Well, I tried following up and maybe acquiring knowledge and information on what direction to take to be a leader, and that was in the year 2016. That is when the climax of me being a leader came across. When I joined, I assisted one of my very good friends to be the president of Mount Kenya University, good friend called Karondo. He ascended to the presidency 2016, and from that, because I was a close ally then, I learned quite a lot. And in the year 2017, I thought, well, it is because I have at least seen what it takes to be the president of a university, maybe I should also try and see if I can manage. And with God's grace, it was a tough journey. I made it and ascended to the president of Mount Kenya University. 2018, yes.
Wow, quite a journey.
It was.
Nowhere, from no thought of being a leader.
Yes.
You cultivated yourself into being a leader, and now you aspire
yes.
to be more into leadership.
Definitely.
Now, after university, you said you went back, you're doing another course, but what has the leadership, you being a leader in the university, what has it driven you to? What are your aspirations?
Well, Steve, Churchill said that leadership is contagious, and you cannot, whenever that thought crosses your mind, it will only live when you die. You can never stop being a leader the moment those aspirations comes to your mind. Well, when I finished and left campus, I thought, because I'm now out of student politics, I need to progress and maybe look for other avenues that I can try and practice what I experienced and got skilled on in university. So I progressed to national politics around that time, when it is around that time that we had the general elections. The general elections. So I joined a team in Thika. We campaigned for the member of parliament. By God's grace, we got the position. And I tell you, Steve, if it wasn't for what skill I got in Mount Kenya University, the position that I'm in, the activities that I'm coordinating right now, it wouldn't be possible. So student leadership really gave me a chance to experience things that you cannot read in books. You can only have those skills when you experience student leadership. And that is the kind of things that maybe, the kind of skills that actually makes me operate easy. So I would say that the skill of coordinating and working with people is the most important thing that I got in student leadership. On aspirations, Steve, I will tell you that a person who doesn't have ambitions is a dead person. So I have my ambitions, and
we'll come to that. As a student leader at Mount Kenya University, what legacy did you leave behind? What challenges did you leave behind that we can look at and say, as much as you went through these and these, you are able to achieve these and these, and students of Mount Kenya University can always be grateful to Theuri for this?
Well, Steve, I will tell you, and it is on record, that it is only in my year 2018, 2019 that the university never rioted. Why? Because I knew, and I'd always employed, I had previous experience. So I knew what way to go, what way not to go. I always employed diplomacy on everything. I understand what the administration wanted, I understood what the student wanted. I tried to balance that equilibrium to ensure that we have a smooth run. In the student leadership, what I achieved, there's an activity, the major achievement and the milestone that I had then we had always, students had always complained in all the campuses, had always complained about missing marks. And I entered student leadership with a name of at least reducing what was there.
Yes.
And I had a program called Mosho Moja Fresh. Mosho Moja Fresh was supposed to try and get all the students who are complaining they are missing this mark, put them in a file, and take them to registrar academics to try and solve that problem. Because we didn't have that link where the student can address the registrar academics that I am this and this, missing this mark. So I came to that gap, took all the names to the registrar, and the week that we started that program, I can tell you, within a week we had recovered around 1,000 and something missing marks. And you know, that is a continuous progress. And a continuous process. Right now, I still understand the people who are still leading the student council are still trying and reduce those things that we had already started, which I believe I assisted a lot of students graduate who had not graduated because of missing marks.
I think that is a great legacy, because
Yes.
missing marks in institution of higher learning, especially university, is a great deal.
Definitely.
Many students take years not to graduate because of one mark that solemnly they did an exam and the mark is missing.
Very true.
How can such an issue be addressed in Mount Kenya University and other universities? Maybe somebody, a vice chancellor, who will watch you and say, these are something we can rely on to reduce the aspect of losing marks in our institution.
Well, Steve, I'll tell you the reason as to why, or what strategy or what thing that the student or the management would employ to try and mitigate this problem is the management and the students. You know, what problems comes around is the students and the management don't have a place where they can interact freely.
Yes.
And once the management and the student governing body would employ a platform where they would both interact. You know, most times, you know, students, sometimes they don't know that the management is not aware of that problem. But once we would have a platform where the student and the management would interact freely to at least lay strategies on how to mitigate these kind of problems, missing marks, I believe that thing would be a thing of the past.
Thing of the past.
Yes, so what I would recommend to the universities, other universities and colleges is at least try and close that gap and open a room for negotiation and maybe discuss how can we do this. We might have done that as Mount Kenya University, but that maybe would not apply to other universities. So what I would recommend is that they come together, close that gap, and now start discussing, because I believe the moment they see it together, they will have a solution. There is never a solution there's never a solution that can work.
The bigger thing they can do is negotiate.
Yes.
Round table, let's sit.
Yes,
find our way out.
yes. How can we solve this? What do you think? This and this, we can do this. Once they've done that, I believe they will have a solution.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, I also want to understand, as a former student leader of Mount Kenya University, what have you gained from the university, and was it an easy journey, you being a leader at Mount Kenya University?
Well, Steve, I will tell you where I am today. If you would remove Mount Kenya University from the picture, I believe I would be nobody, because I was literally built and molded by Mount Kenya University. The kind of networks and connections and people I knew from me being a student leader are the kind of networks, people and connections that I am pushing my life through, because I sort of was opened up to another environment that I never knew. And that environment is the environment still holding me today, and I believe will hold me in the future. And about the student leadership being easy, I will tell you it is one of the most difficult things I have ever done in my life. It is one of the most tedious, difficult things I've done in my life. Steve, I would have never thought that I would wake up one day tired. When I was a student leader, I would sleep tired, wake up tired. The whole day I was tired. It was one of the most tedious things. In fact, my mother would actually complain. Was this when you became a student leader? You don't even visit. But I would try and see that I didn't have time for for myself. But it is not complaining. But there's no easy task. But I would say that was the most difficult things that I've ever done. But it was enjoyable.
That is so nice.
Yes.
Now, as a youth leader, I've seen you on social platform, at times on news segment, championing and fighting for youth rights. With the new BBI coming in place, you're very vocal on the position of the youth. What are your views?
Well, Steve, I'll tell you that the future is youthful. We will not have a future if we don't have youths, and that is why I stand in that gap. And I'm very thankful to the Member of Parliament for Thika, because he gives platforms for youth people to grow and actually become something in life. I will tell you the contributions that we have been doing and we've always been doing is it is things that youthful people are benefiting. Let me outline something that we've been doing. Right now we have this COVID-19 issue, and we have engaged around 100 youthful members to at least help in making awareness about this COVID-19, going around in villages, towns, distributing masks, using that foundation I told you, Jango Foundation, under the patronage of Wainaina Wajango. And once we give this platform to youthful people, we see success stories. So I am a champion of the youths because I believe that the future is youthful. About the BBI issue, I will tell you that if youthful people do not engage in politics, we will not have a nation to lead. We will not exist. So every platform that I get, I urge youthful people to at least get concerned. Just know what is happening in your nation. And once you participate in that, that is where you'll have direction. Because we will not have a nation without youths.
Where is the position of the youth in leadership in Kenya today and maybe the future?
I will tell you, Steve, we will not have a nation without youths.
Yes.
The position that the youthful members of this nation play is a position that nobody else in the nation can play in 100 years. Because one, we are remaining more years to experience than anybody else. So if we don't get experience and know how to coordinate a government, how to make policies, how to lead people, we'll have a useless nation. So we urge people to participate in activities that concern you, activities around government, debate, deliberate what the government is doing. Is it good? Is it bad? And the moment we do it, it is out of these discussions and deliberations that we get directives that can assist the nation. Yes, the position of the youths is a position that cannot be assumed. Yes.
In short, you're trying to tell who are watching us that as a youth, it's time to come out.
It should be as early as yesterday. Yes.
So that's a good thing. Now, what is this notion that has been built in the minds of so many people out there, especially the old, that youths are always used during, with politicians during election to bring riots and all that, yet themselves, they don't vote in large numbers?
Well, Steve, I'll tell you that the reason as to why it is factual that youthful individuals in this nation are actually used. The reason as to why you have that is because we are not empowered. Nobody will use you if you are empowered. And one of the biggest tasks that some of us who are youth activists try to put outside there is to try and tell youthful individuals to empower themselves. And once these people, the people who we have actually put this narrative to and actually have actually taken that step to empower themselves, they are individuals who no politician would try and use, because they already know, they are informed. Information is power. And I'll tell you, Steve, we have been walking around with the CAS of Education, Mr. Zach Kinodia, trying to tell youthful individuals to try and get to these TVETs because they are government offers. Once they get there, they will have a skill. And when you have a skill, no politician will come there in your village, try to tell you, Jack, come, I'll give you 50 shillings, go and throw stones there. Because one, you already have a skill, you are working somewhere, you are actually tailoring, or you're doing something that you already, something you already learned in a TVET somewhere, so nobody will use you once you empowered. So my information and my advice out there is that let you get empowered, and being empowered is actually getting a skill. Yes.
So your position is that youth should get skilled so that they avoid being used by politician or any other person in the country.
Very true, very true.
And that is very good advice, because these days we have come to find out that we have TVETs who are offering even skills. We have artisan courses for those who cannot make it to university, for those who live at primary class 8 level, which can help them equip for the future.
Yes, and in fact, Steve, I'll tell you, no, most of the times, and it is very unfortunate, we youthful individuals don't seek information. And that is where we fail in a great way. I'll tell you, let me give this information that right now, the government has facilitated youthful individuals accessing TVETs. Right now, if you are a new entry to a TVET, one fee is around 56,000. The government facilitates 38,000 for you to go and get information and get a skill. So I'm trying to tell individuals out there, kindly go to that TVET. And it is amazing that every sub-county in 98% of the sub-counties in this nation has a TVET institution around them. Yes. So you cannot say that I don't have access to a TVET institution. So just get that information, know where to go, just enter that institution. And if you don't have access, just call me or look for me in one of my social media platforms. Ask me and I'll direct you where you have to go, so that we can get equipped and have at least something that we can bargain and at least maybe have hope for future. Because the reason as to why we are used is because we are hopeless.
Information
is power. Yes.
So let youth seek for information to enable them have a brighter future ahead, to enable them not be used, to enable them make a life for themselves.
Definitely.
Now, let's go into the national politics. What is your view on national politics, the youth in national politics? Are they playing a major role in contribution to the growth, socio-economic and political growth to this nation?
Steve, I'll tell you that if the politics of this nation and the direction the government has taken and where we are as at now would not be possible if the youth factor would not be there. Right now we have individuals, youthful individuals, who are actually trailblazers, who are in front of us and have given us directions that we are following. These individuals have made major contributions to ensure the government and the nation is where it is right now. I will tell you the dynamics of politics in this nation would not be where and would not be take the patterns that the dynamics take if youths don't participate. So I will tell you, we youths have contributed a lot to ensure that we are take part in this politics, and I am very proud because there is no other country. The only other country that maybe we come second after is South Africa in youth engagement in politics. So I would say that we are in the right direction, and that is the direction that we should be in, because we participate fully in policies and politics of this nation. Yes.
As a clinical nutritionist, this pandemic has affected so many people, and statistics says especially the youths who are majorly jobless have been affected. What is your take as a clinician on the way forward for the youth, the way forward for this pandemic?
Well, I'll tell you, Steve, that the same way I had said that people should seriously seek information. And I'm very disappointed that some of the misinformation out there is actually pushed by youthful individuals who we expect should actually be the ones inciting our older generation and maybe our younger generation, the ones behind us, on ways and directions to take. As a nutritionist, I have maybe contributed in my own small way to try and maybe help in fighting this pandemic by giving information. Because right now, Steve, maybe you've heard it, and the WHO is constantly giving this information that COVID-19 will only be fought if people ensure that they boost their immunity. And ways to boost the immunity is actually out there. You are told what to do and what not to do. We are told what to take, what not to take. So what we have done, my contribution as a nutritionist, is actually giving advice to these people. If you're in need, if a person I see might be reckless out there, I tell them, yo, take this food. You are taking alcohol, you know, alcohol suppresses your immunity. Don't take this. To ensure that you take food that actually boosts your immunity, fruits, these lemons and these kind of things. And maybe in that small way, I assist in ensuring that you fight the pandemic.
That's a good way, at least you have a word out there. Healthy eating, immune system must be strong to enable us fight the pandemic, which is said it might be with us longer than expected.
Longer than expected. It is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate.
You talked about Jungle Foundation.
Yes.
I want now to go deeper to understand what do you do at Jungle Foundation, what is Jungle Foundation, how is it helping the youth and the common mwananchi down here?
Well, Steve, I'll tell you, Jungle Foundation is a CSR arm of Jungle Mark Company, where we assist the community in various aspects. Right now, I'll tell you that Jungle Foundation has different sort of organs. We have Jungle Elimu, Jungle Environment, Jungle Afia, that we assist the community in very different aspects. Like Jungle Elimu, I'll tell you, Steve, right now we have an activity that is supposed to aim at students who are at home right now because of the pandemic. We understood that education is a factor that should not be ignored. Yes. Right now in the pandemic, we have to start acting extraordinary, to go an extra mile to assist the students who are at home. And right now, we will, in the next few weeks, be distributing over 300,000 revision materials in the entire Kiambu County to try and mitigate this problem that is around. The next thing, Jungle Afia, I've told you that right now, we have distributed around 400,000 masks to the entire Kiambu County. We have distributed over 5,000 hand washing stations around Kiambu County, and we already distributed 1 million liters of sanitizer around Kiambu County using Jungle Afia branch of Jungle Foundation. And the other one is Jungle Environment. We have that problem that is around us about sanitation and maybe dumping of waste. Using Jungle Environment or Jungle Mazingira, we go to these places where we find dumping around our estates. We collect those dumped material and we go and dispose them properly. And this is the kind of activities that we do with Jungle Foundation. And I will tell you, Steve, right now, I don't have the exact record of boda sheds and Mama Wasoko sheds that we have maybe put up in Kiambu County, but I believe we are now going to hit the 5,000 mark of the sheds that we have erected in Kiambu County. And these activities we will continue to do as time goes, because we believe changing the economy and changing the community is a collective responsibility. Yes. And we want to contribute to this collective responsibility under the patronage of Wainaina Wajango to at least change our environment, change the people around us, and change Kiambu County in a whole. Yes.
Send my regards and tell him I see he's doing a good job.
Definitely.
Let him go on. I hope as a youthful MP, I will have him here on the court and let us discuss more about his vision.
I believe he's watching, so believe me, he will actually respond on that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Now, as part of the Jungle Foundation, what exactly is your position and what do you aspire as a person to do to Jungle Foundation to see to it that it is achieving its goal and perspective to the people of Kiambu County?
Well, my position in Jungle Foundation is a youth liaison person. I am the person who is actually trying to get what problem youths in the society are facing, and using Jungle Foundation try and assist those problems so that we can have a progressive community and a progressive county in a whole. So my aspirations and my vision in Jungle Foundation is to ensure that in a record time of maybe an year, we will have mitigated around 40 or 50%, if not 100% of the youth problems and the challenges youth face in Kiambu County as a whole. Yes.
Oh, that's good. I'm looking forward to see more and more of Jungle Foundation. Maybe something I'd forgotten. I also saw a bit of a distribution of is it the women and youth loans? Maybe
Uwezo Fund.
Uwezo Fund. Maybe you can come up with. You can say something about it.
Well, Uwezo Fund is a function being operated by Thika constituency, this Thika CDF office. What we are doing right now is trying to get these youthful groups, these women group that is around the constituency, who are actually doing something for themselves. Right now, I will tell you, Steve, that the things and the activities and the businesses that have always stood straight are businesses that include various people who have a similar agenda, who have a similar goal, and actually have a similar objective. What we are doing with the Uwezo Fund, we've already called out on youth groups and maybe women group out there who are actually having a business already. A business that they feel if we are assisted with this amount of money, we can have this business on another level. And that is the mind of Mheshimiwa right now. We want to at least put money in the pocket of Wananchi, in the pocket of that youthful person. Right now, Steve, I will tell you, from when we called for that people to register, I will tell you we have over 5,000 applicants within a week, 5,000 applicants. And I believe as we progress and maybe teach these people on how to progress with their business, because once we have those people, we'll not just give them money, we are going to teach them on bookkeeping, we're going to teach them on other beneficial financial lessons that they would actually use in the future. And those people who actually are not in groups, give them a group, and under Jungle Foundation, we are going to give them money to boost their businesses. So we want to see in the near future groups of youthful people coming together and actually benefiting economically so that we can assist the nation in progressing. Well, Steve, I'll tell you that I draw serious inspirations from Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. This guy has seriously went through things and he has seriously overcome things. So I seriously get inspiration from that man because he's a very passionate person who believes in young people. And I believe in the near future we will have him as an icon in this world because he has made serious contribution to this nation. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe now you can look into that camera and inspire someone, tell them what they should do, your last words.
Well, Steve, I've always insisted that you should never stop dreaming. As a youthful person, you should never stop dreaming. And your dreams should scare you. If your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming. Remain motivated, remain a person who is never afraid of anything. Face your challenges because it is out of these hard times that you get.
We have heard from Theuri Kelvin, liaison person youth affairs under Jungle Foundation. His insights and vision is clear to the youth that information is power. Once you seek information, you have the journey and the future to redeeming yourself and not being used. We have seen where he wants to be. We have known and heard from him. We hope that you as a youth will learn one or more thing from him and his leadership skill as he aspires to more and he aspires to making a better place for the youth. As we move on, we look forward to bringing more and more people who will inspire you specifically as a youth towards your growth into the future. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you keep watching and make sure you keep sharing your views on how we can make this show the best, the TTL Show on YouTube channel, Sauti Kweli Media. Thank you so much. I have been your host, Stephen Malala Opanda. Till next time, God bless. Same time, same day.